We'll talk about the Tour Championship and how it might be fixed, or is it perfect? We're going to find out. And then we've got Ryder Cup, okay? So golf is not technically fully over yet because we have one last thing to look forward to, which is the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black this year. Ryder Cup picks, by the time you're going to be listening to this on the podcast version, the picks will already have come out. However, we will not know that tonight. So we've got some rumors and so forth that are going around.
Yes, I would. I think I would like to see match play like half the season. I would love to see people duking it out. I think it'd be a whole lot more fun for golf. And whoever says that it doesn't film as well or whatever, I mean, maybe if, I don't know, it's tough because if you got a complete beatdown happening out there, you know, somebody wins 9-up or whatever, yeah, then it's not that great. But I think if you match people accordingly, you're probably going to end up with a pretty good outcome. And it would be cool if you played your ass off to get into the big year-end match play event. And then we're going to go fucking head-to-head with the best in the world, duking it out, not trying to beat a field, but mono-a-mono match play.
I think it'd be awesome. I don't see it not being super successful as a format. Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight, we've got our co-host, Butsy, with us. And we've got a great episode for all of you because it is that time of year again to where golf season is over. Unfortunately, depends on how you look at it because football season is starting up. And the FedEx Cup has just finished up this past weekend with good old Tommy Fleetwood taking the victory. We'll talk about the Tour Championship and how it might be fixed, or is it perfect? We're going to find out. And then we've got Ryder Cup, okay? So golf is not technically fully over yet because we have one last thing to look forward to, which is the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black this year. Ryder Cup picks, by the time you're going to be listening to this on the podcast version, the picks will already have come out. However, we will not know that tonight. So we've got some rumors and so forth that are going around. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Butsy and I are going to go through who our teams would end up being on tonight's episode. And then we'll see how it all plays out tomorrow morning when the actual Ryder Cup picks do take place. Keegan Bradley, obviously the captain there, had been playing exceptionally well. So we'll get into all of that here in just a second, but we do want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Yep. Devereaux Golf, folks. I'm rocking the t-shirt tonight, the navy blue. It's actually the US Open shirt that they came out with. I absolutely love this one. Butsy's got the hat on here tonight. We got a little t-shirt action too, or just the hat tonight?
Yeah, it's an older one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll change my shirt here shortly on cam. Just give me a few minutes, but it's a good one. It's just old. I don't want to, do a disservice to the brand by showing off a bad shirt,
I feel you, but folks, by being a podcast listener here on the Pull Hook Golf podcast, you get 20% off over at devereauxgolf.com by utilizing the promo code PullHookGolf20 at checkout. Once again, that's PullHookGolf20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order at devereauxgolf.com. Right over my shoulder here is the Rockform G-Rock speaker that I'm obsessed with. I went camping this past weekend. It was out there with us. We were bopping with it the whole weekend. One of the nice things is it has a 24-hour battery life, so you're not going to worry about needing to charge it when you're on the go. It attaches magnetically to the golf cart. An awesome speaker all the way around. So G-Rock over at Rockform, and that is Pull Hook 2025. All right, folks, for once again, 20% off over at rockform.com. That is Pull Hook 2025 for a 20% off discount code over at rockform.com. Go ahead and get you some. Also want to give a shout out that today is day 69, which hell of a number for a day for the 5 a.m. comeback, which if you've been following along my journey, basically this is my transformation mentally, spiritually, physically, and trying to get into golf form for the 2026 Grass League Open. We will see how that all pans out. But for the time being, I kind of lost a little bit of alignment. Butsy, I don't know if you've ever run into this challenge before, but I don't like filming myself. Like, I don't enjoy it. So
No,
I ended
it
up
feels
finding that,
super terrible.
yeah, it just wasn't something that I was super interested in doing. I love tracking the journey and everything. So I was posting stories on a daily basis around it. And essentially, I've decided that I'm not going to film myself. I'm going to look at potentially bringing on an assistant slash intern in order to hopefully film and on a day-to-day basis. But we're going to start coming out with weekly reels that are going to start rolling out for the 5 a.m. comeback. So just so that everybody is aware, because I've been getting messages like, hey, why aren't you posting your stories? Today I got called out, and it is not that it is ending or not continuing. It's just that from a filming standpoint, it's not going to happen on a daily basis, right?
Get off my ass, people. It's a pain in the ass.
It is. I just didn't enjoy it. Like it started becoming a burden. And I feel like, man, that's one of the reasons why I'm not an influencer. I'm not one of these social media content creators. You do a great job with it, Putsy, but it's just not my thing. So it's like, I'm authentically just going to live it. And then if everything pans out where
We'll get to see it.
I get a assistant or intern, then from there, but I'm going to end up bringing them on for everything I do. So hopefully we will be able to start getting that content. And then we have a social media coordinator who is going to be putting together the reels and everything. So all in all, we're going to have content. It's going to be coming out. Just be patient with it. But you will see my face every morning at 5 a.m. That will be up on the story. I will not stop doing that, as that is a challenge in and of itself. So
it would be cool if you could find a little person to film for you.
Just a little guy.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Really fun. Yep. All right. First off, the tee off report with Butsy. Here we go, folks. And good old Butsy. My question for you tonight. Have you ever found yourself on the golf course? I know I have. To where you have had a rough situation where you had to go to the bathroom urgently. And I'm not talking about going number one. I'm talking about number two.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Tell us about it.
Well, this has happened more than once, as you probably could imagine. We were up on a guys' trip just outside of Flagstaff in Munns Park. We had gone out the night before. I forget what we ate, but I was going on probably 2 days of not puping, if you will.
Sure.
And the morning of golf, it was early. You know, the business, it didn't happen in the bathroom at the hotel.
Oh,
I call
no.
it travel shits, and I don't know if you've ever encountered those, right? Where
Yeah.
you kind of have a hard time resetting internally, and it's just you're off your cycle, if you will. But yeah, so it got to a point like I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm playing golf. Like, this is very uncomfortable. We went to I think it was like a 24-hour CVS or something like that, and one of the guys said, buy this bottle of magnesium citrate. So I bought that, and I did not read the back of the bottle. It looked like a small enough bottle, so I just assumed, like, okay. So I drank the bottle, and we got out there, teed off, and I think I putted out on like 3 before there was literally like poop coming out of my pants.
Oh, no.
As I was running over to the on-course toilet. Thank God one of those was, I don't want to say it's centrally stationed on the golf course, but it was close enough where I kind of hobbled over to the cart and was able to drive over there. And the guys dropped me off, and I think I was in there for 3/4 of the round. Yeah, I think they picked me back up on like 14 is when I met back up with them. So I spent a majority of the round in there. And if you've ever drinking magnesium citrate, I'm sorry, it's a bit of a run-on story, but don't. Unless you really absolutely have no other option. It is not the route to go, especially if you are doing anything outside of any activity level. It was a very miserable experience. Yes, relief happened, but it was just a horrible way to get there.
That sounds absolutely horrible. And
Yeah.
I can relate because before starting with Stark Health, which, by the way, has been the big health transformation for me, folks, look them up. Stark.health, phenomenal. Like, if you are looking for a transformation, they are by far the elite of the elite when it comes to having everybody in place. So I've got a full team behind me. I've got the naturopathic doctor, I've got the nutritionist, I've got a personal trainer, I've got the neuromuscular chiropractor, so on and so forth. And one of the things with all the blood work and whatnot is that I realized that I most likely have a gluten disease, which is called celiac disease, where I can't eat gluten and can't really eat bread. And I never knew this. So last year at this tournament behind me, which is the lit up trophy over here, which is kind of cool that they did this year, that it changes colors and everything. Yes, folks, won the net championship over there with my partner, Steve Nesvik. But last year was a different story. Okay. So I ended up crushing a hot dog at the turn. And by I think it was like hole 12 or 13, there's like a restroom. And I'm like, hey, I really got to use the restroom here. Went in, and let's just put it this way. It was not a good experience to where my stomach hurt so bad and it had cramped up so badly that I couldn't get off the pond. I'm sitting there and have you ever had that experience to where like you literally know you've got to go, like you've got to leave, like you got to go tee off because in your head internally, like it's just, I know how much time has gone by and I'm like, shoot, the next group behind us is going to like be on us. Sure enough, they almost had to let a ladies group behind us go in front of us. And we're playing in a member guest tournament. And it's like, we were the last group and it was very embarrassing. I come out of the restroom. There's carts stacked up on the tee box. I'm like, oh shit. Then I got to come out. And of course it came up this year too. They're like, man, remember when you used that bathroom, Matt? And of course the group we're playing with was the same group we played the first round with last year. And I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't going to believe this, but I have celiac disease. And so when I had that hot dog at the turn and I had that bread, all of a sudden my stomach just absolutely started hurting. And I think about it now and I look back and I'm like, yeah, I kind of stopped eating at the turn. I kind of don't eat at the turn because I used to always end up getting a stomach ache. It would kind of throw me off. So there you have it. That was my little story in regards to the member guest from last year and exploding in the bathroom on hole number 13 or 14. I can't remember which one it is. Brutal. Yeah, it was not good. Oh, so that got us really kicked off here with the tee off report. So let's talk about the FedEx Cup and the Tour Championship. So the season-long race, I think it's time to put season-long race marketing to an end because
the season-long race. It ain't
the guy who
race.
Yeah, we picked on Live Golf last week about the fact that a guy who didn't win a single golf tournament the entire year. You had somebody who won 5 golf tournaments and he doesn't end up winning the individual championship. It's a guy who ends up not winning at all and didn't even win the tournament of the final tournament in order to win. So that whole thing is completely messed up. However, we got a little bit of a scenario here. I was talking about it last week. Tommy Fleetwood was my pick last week for winning the Tour Championship. And I said last week that if he wins, he's the only guy who hadn't won all year to where I wouldn't have a problem with the fact that Tommy Fleetwood won because he had 2 collapses in over the past 2 months, right? Travelers and then the St. Jude. And they even had a 3-shot lead heading into the final, or 2-shot lead heading into the final 3 holes and blew it. So that being said, what do you think about the season-long race? Do you still consider it the season-long race because only 30 guys can end up getting to the very end, and now it's just a free-for-all once you get there? I saw a lot of mixed opinions based off of last week with us talking about the format and stuff, so I'm curious if you still, dude, after that.
It's a hot bag of horse shit, Matt. There's no who's in the race. How do you win the race? Yeah, it's not a linear thing. I think it's bullshit. It's just as bad as the live outcome and the $18 million there. It's kind of the same kind of deal. Like the dude who performed the best it's stupid. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I was talking with Trot about it. Trot's been in the chat here. Good evening to you, Trot, as you've jumped on. And I was talking to him today, and he had an interesting idea to where it was like, do stroke play until you get to the final 8. And it's kind of like college football, where the last 8 teams battle it out in match play. right? You've got match play brackets and you battle it out. Look, I just want to see match play. That's my biggest thing with the Tour
100%.
Championship. Get rid of the season-long race moniker. Like, use the season-long race to get you into the playoffs. Okay? Then drop it.
Get in that small field.
Exactly. Get into that small field, into the final. I wouldn't even mind seeing the final 16 guys going at it on the golf course, in match play scenario, go head to head. I think that is going to be the most exciting outcome you could possibly get. You did mention last week that the issue there is they play stroke play all year long. And all of a sudden now for the Tour Championship, you're going to have them play match play, which I think was Adam Scott's almost exactly what he said as well when he was asked about it.
Did he say that after I said it?
No, he said it before, but I know you didn't heir him say that before.
Him,
so
I swear to God, I would never. I don't even know who that is.
The big thing here is, would you like to see match play?
Yes, I would. I think I would like to see match play like half the season. I would love to see people duking it out. I think it'd be a whole lot more fun for golf. And whoever says that it doesn't film as well or whatever, I mean, maybe if, I don't know, it's tough because if you got a complete beatdown happening out there, you know, somebody wins 9 up or whatever, yeah, then it's not that great. But I think if you match people accordingly, you're probably going to end up with a pretty good outcome. And it would be cool if you played your ass off to get into the big year-end match play event. And then we're going to go fucking head-to-head with the best in the world, duking it out, not trying to beat a field, but mono-a-mono match play.
I think it'd be awesome. I don't see it not being super successful as a format. Like, we don't have match play anymore on the PGA Tour. So it's like, this gives us the opportunity for the FedEx Cup to be something different than the other 4 majors, something different than the Players Championship. Like, we have all of these championships, right? It's like, they're trying to push to make this all kind of 6 majors, in my opinion. The Players, then you got the 4 majors, and then you got the Tour Championship. And to me, the Tour Championship is still a mess. They still haven't figured out exactly how to do it. And yes, in match play, are you going to get an upset? Sure. But that's why you keep the numbers low. You keep the top 8 guys, or the top 16 guys that really played so well all year long. You give, for instance, first round guys a bye, right? Like, those are some of the advantages to it, just like in other major sports as well. I just see that being a much better format that people can really buy into, and it differentiates the FedEx Cup and the Tour Championship versus the other 4 majors, as well as the Players Championship. Because let's face it, it's the worst of the group, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on a soapbox here, just complaining about it.
But that's okay.
Let's talk about Tommy Fleetwood, though, who did win it. And rightfully so. Tommy Fleetwood has struggled to close out golf tournaments, has never won on the PGA Tour. I think he won something like either 7 or 9 times over in Europe. Okay. So it's not like the guy couldn't win. But what I ended up finding out is that he did end up, after the Travelers Championship, after he blew that lead and lost it, he ended up going to see the famous Dr. Bob Rotella.
Fucking Dr. B. How old is that guy now?
Dude, he's got to be so old. I mean, golf is not a game of perfect. I remember that book. I read it in high school.
I was going to say, I remember seeing the books, and he was 60 then.
Yeah, and I'm old, man. Like, he's got to be so old, but at the same time, still crushing it, just like Butch Harmon is. So those 2 guys, 2 legends of the instruction, of golf instruction and golf, mental performance, those are the 2 guys that are kind of the mecca, right?
Yeah.
When you think of OGs in the sport from that side.
Foley's kind of an OG at this point. I don't think that his modern day hair is real, though. I think that's fake. Seriously, I think it's plastic. Anyways.
It might not be. Sean Foley, you're getting called out by Butsy here. We want to know, is that hair real?
He doesn't need to know I said that. I'm just saying. I think his hair is glued on.
He just doubled down on it. I love it.
Go look at it and then take a picture. Go to fucking I'm on a soapbox now. Go.
Yeah,
We really
I
hijacked
got you
this here.
going.
Yeah, just go and Google Sean Foley 2025 and then screenshot it and then zoom in and then screenshot that and then zoom in on that until you can get all the way into where the follicle and you can see it clear as day. It's glue.
So what's cool is that Butch Harmon has Tommy
We'll just go
Fleetwood
right past
swing,
that. Sorry.
yeah, his swing down now to where it's so damn good. And then you got Dr. Bob Rotella working with him on the mental game. And sure enough, like St. Jude, I don't think it was enough time that he's been working with Dr. Bob Rotella. If I have my facts straight on this, that he started working with Bob after the Travelers debacle. Well, guess what, folks? We saw it at the Tour Championship. And what I really enjoyed about it is that you could see some of the things that they were working on mentally, because even the broadcast kept talking about how fast Tommy Fleetwood was getting up and hitting a shot. So he was going through his routine and without delay making the shot instead of letting it get mental.
You think that was a key to his success?
I definitely think it was a key to his success. I think they figured out, most likely anyways, like this is my assumption to it based off of what I saw. It looked like they decided in their conversations and so forth, one of the big kind of sticking points is that Tommy would think about it too much. Would think about the shot, would think about the actions and everything instead of just allowing his ability and staying out of his head in order to hit that shot. So he was going right up to it, going through 2 little practice swings when he was pitching or chipping and just going. And then
you noticed this.
Absolutely. And not just for instance, the broadcast kept bringing it up as well, because they were having a tough time going from like when Patrick Cantlay would putt to all of a sudden you have Tommy Fleetwood putting. And all of a sudden they're like panning over and they're like, holy shit, Tommy Fleetwood's already over his ball putting. And sure enough, like he obviously got the job done. He even said afterwards, he's like, I was freaking out even when I had the 2-shot or 3-shot lead coming down the final couple holes. He's like, cause I just blew that a couple weeks prior. So he was fully aware and just stressed out to the max. And it was something that was pretty cool just to see him overcome those demons and to be able to push through. And obviously the mental performance side, because it's something that I talk about a lot on this podcast. I always bring up the mental aspect. And here's a guy that you finally see using it, working with somebody in order to break through. And I think he broke through in a big way, because I think the doors are going to open up for Tommy Fleetwood. And my question to you is kind of heading into next year, now that Tommy Fleetwood has won a golf tournament, how many do you think he's going to win each year?
Oh, man. I put him right up there with Xander. I think he's going to be maybe even better. He might have a more sound and mechanically wise golf swing than Xander. Now that he's maybe proved to himself that he can get the horse off his back, he could be very dangerous. So I don't think anybody would refute that he's in the top 10 in terms of mechanics on tour. So getting it done in that headspace, this could be dangerous.
Yeah, I think 2 to 3 times a year is what I would expect out of Tommy Fleetwood moving forward. He's that good. And now that he has gotten that elephant off of his back, I think we're going to see him win multiple times on tour next year. So that's just a little bit of a foreshadowing around that. And we also have, Tour Championship wise, that is done. We want to see match play. Tommy Fleetwood overcomes, ends up winning. Scottie Scheffler gets nothing for his incredible year, other than probably in PIP. He'll end up getting paid out and he'll be player of the year, most likely, unless some crazy decision gets made and they give it to Rory out of just being sincere with his Masters victory. But it's got to go to Scottie Scheffler for the player of the year. Scottie Scheffler was right there once again. Top 5. I mean, Scottie Scheffler, just steady Eddie, man. But yeah. I kind of saw it after last week. I was like, man, it's so tough to win back-to-back golf tournaments. And I just didn't see Scottie doing that. And so that kind of opened up the door where I'm like, man, Tommy Fleetwood has the opportunity. He's playing well. If he can just get over that hump mentally. And I didn't know last week, by the way, that he was working with Dr. Bob Rotella. So that was pretty cool to end up hearing that on the broadcast.
I didn't know he was alive. That's honestly, I did not know that Dr. Bob was still around. So, yeah, he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I feel like Trot's a lot like Dr. Bob Rotella in a lot of ways.
Well, I will tell you, and then I've got Dr. Lee Piccarello, who he's just phenomenal from a mental standpoint. Like, we were working on stuff this week that kind of crossed over business to golf. And I'm like, holy crap, it's the first time that, like, from a mental standpoint, it made sense for the two, like, crossing over. And I'm not going to get into detail around it. I'll talk about it more so when we end up bringing him on the podcast, because I do want him to come on at some point. But his entire just thought process and mental side to everything is just so spot on in my world, in my universe of what I've built, that I'm like, gosh, this is going to be so helpful even in business rather than even just around the game of golf. So again, shout out to him. But yeah, between those two, I feel like I've got just an absolute vibe going on between the two of them with Trot as well as Dr. Piccarello. So again, moving beyond that, let's go to the Ryder Cup, because tomorrow the picks are going to come out. So if you're listening to this podcast, we recorded this on Tuesday. Picks are coming out on Wednesday, and this podcast releases on Thursday. So, Batsy, we're going to have some fun here, and we're going to go over who our picks would be if you were Keegan Bradley. Who would you end up? Who would you end up? Oh, shoot. I just realized that I'm going to end up sharing the wrong tab. So let me go. Technical difficulties. Give me 1 second, folks. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Here we go. So you are Keegan Bradley, and you are going to select your team, Batsy. So let me get rid of the cookies here. Here we go.
Caffeine. Here you go. I'll trade you.
Okay, so your top 6 that are automatic qualifiers are Scottie Scheffler, JJ Spawn, Xander Schauffele, Russell Henley, Harris English, and Bryson DeChambeau. The next 6. So you've got, this is your group to choose from: Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, who's had a tremendous year. Maverick McNeely had the great kind of end of last year, beginning of this year. Keegan Bradley is you. Brian Harmon, Andrew Novak, Cam Young, who really came on at the end of the year, Patrick Cantlay, who just finished runner-up, Sam Burns, Wyndham Clark, Lucas Glover, Akshay Bhatia, Chris Gotterup. That's where I'm going to leave it. Okay, we do have some former, Ryder Cup players like Daniel Berger. There's Tony Finau down there. There's, Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth, Billy Horschel. Not
those guys are trash.
Guys. Okay, so anyways, let's go back to our list here. Who are your 6 additional players that you would select?
Well, first off, I'm going to pick myself in spite of everybody.
Love that for you.
There's one. If I'm Keegan, I'm picking myself. Sorry. He's got a pretty good record. JT, he's out. Not a bad match play player, but I like Morikawa. So there's one.
Okay, so we got Keegan, we got Morikawa.
Cruise it on down a little.
Okay.
Because I don't know who any of these people are.
Love that.
Just kidding. I'm actually throwing Akshay in the mix.
Okay,
I think he
so
would be an electric match play player.
So we got 3. You need 3 more.
Oh, man. Go on back up now.
Okay.
After Ben's putting display this last week, I don't know if I can go with him, but we'll go Ben Griffin.
Okay. He had a creatine overdose, remember?
Shit, these soft-ass people.
I mean, Ben Griffin, just so that you know, a lot of people are out there, like, they're very bitter because they don't think he's going to get picked, and they think he absolutely deserves to be picked. So,
well, why?
You made a lot of them happy just now. Who else? We got 4 so far.
I don't know why he deserves it. I like him, though. This is just pure heart and feel here. So, we got how many more? 2 more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian Harmon, fuck no. Get rid of him. He shouldn't even be on the list.
Wow.
Andrew Novak, let's cruise it back down again. I can't. JT is going to end up on my fucking list, and I don't want him to be. Patrick Cantlay, I just can't stand Cantlay.
Okay.
Probably a great human being, but for the obvious reasons, I just can't do that. I like Sammy Burns.
Okay. So that's 5. You got 5 so far.
Just put JT in.
Okay, JT. So that's
you
your
gotta
6.
go with it. He's an absolute spectacle when the heat is on, mano a mano.
So let's see. You got JT, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Keegan Bradley, yourself, and then you've got Sam Burns and Akshay Bhatia.
Praying Mantis.
Yeah. My goodness, that's a heck of a lineup. I don't think anybody would be like. I doubt you'll get any criticism on that. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to post that obviously on Instagram, and we will end up finding out if you get any backlash in regards to that. Now let's go over mine. Okay. So I'm Keegan Bradley now. I'm taking over the reins. I am absolutely going Justin Thomas. Okay.
He's number 1. That's right out of the gate.
That's my guy. I like Justin Thomas. Always have.
Say why.
Some people don't like Justin Thomas. I think Justin Thomas has a great game for the Ryder Cup. He bombs the ball. And by the way, at Bethpage, this is one of those golf courses. I know everybody hits it around 300 yards, right? But when you've got an 8-iron in your hand versus a 6 or a 5-iron, I like Justin Thomas in that situation. I'm going Justin Thomas, okay? Colin Morikawa, I like him as well. Another Ryder Cup guy. I feel like he's gritty. He can get the job done. So I like Colin Morikawa. I know everybody is going to say Ben Griffin deserves to be a Ryder Cup player. I don't disagree. However, I'm not picking him. Okay. I'm going Maverick McNeely as so this one's going to rub some people the wrong way. I like Maverick McNeely's game, and I just think he has had such a solid end of last year, beginning of this year. And Maverick McNeely to me is a guy that he's got I wouldn't say an it factor, but I would say he's got a little bit of clutchness to him that I like. And I just like his game for Bethpage. So I'm going to say Maverick McNeely. Now I'm Keegan Bradley, so I'm going to skip over me for a minute. I'm going Cam Young, upstate New York guy. You know, Cam Young is a bomber of the golf ball. Yeah, he's from the Northeast. He won the Met when he was the Met amateur when he was, I think, 17 or 18 years old. 17, I think.
You like those fellow prick personalities, don't you, from the Knolls?
But you got to have some guys to actually play with him, right? So then I've got Sam Burns. Okay, so that's my 5.
We're not so far apart.
I'm Keegan Bradley. So I'm picking myself because I think Keegan Bradley, I think he absolutely has to pick himself. I've said it for a while now and I've probably said it for the past like 3-4 months that I know that he originally came out and said that he has to be in the top 6 in order to be a part of this Ryder Cup team. And he's going to try to play his way in, but he is the heart behind this team. Boston guy. Again, I would love to see him and Cam Young play together. That's the duo that I'm like, dang, you know, they're kind of, not everybody loves those guys. So let's call a spade, put those two together, 2 new Northeast personalities, and let's get it going when it comes to that. Maverick McNeely's the one that I'm probably going to get hate for, that people are probably going to be like, why Maverick McNeely? Listen, he's freaking 10th. Okay. Like I saw something today around, on Twitter that they said the Ryder Cup should be top 10 guys are exempt. And those are the guys that are on your team. And then you get 2 captains picks. I actually like that. I actually really like that.
Less politics.
Exactly. You don't get this whole boys club stuff or anything like that. But when you look at Sam Burns, because Sam Burns is going to be the outlier sitting in 16th, right? He's getting picked. Nuclear Golf came out and said that that Keegan's already made the phone call to Sam Burns, that one's pretty much a done deal, and that Keegan's also picking himself, which is a done deal. So we'll see if those pan out and are true. Nuclear Golf has somewhat of a good track record, so we're going to go along with that. But Sam Burns is the one that people are going to be like, oh, that's part of the boys club, blah, blah, blah. That's Scottie Scheffler's best friend. And if Scottie Scheffler's the best player in the world, you probably want his best friend to team him up with. I'm just saying. So I'm good with that. And I know people are going to say the boys club. I really don't care. Again, Justin Thomas.
You earn the right to manage the boys club too, just as much as it exists, right?
Yep. Now, I'm going to ask you the question.
Take. Okay.
No. I do like that take, but it leads me to this next question, to where Keegan Bradley, do you think he's making a mistake by picking himself?
Oh, I don't. I think he's going to fucking dominate. I think Tiger would probably agree with it too. I bet Tiger had something to do with him picking himself too.
Yeah.
I got a text from Tiger that said, you should fucking pick yourself.
I mean, while we were going through that, I'm seeing on the chat too that there was there was some trolling going on where Kyle over at Cart Barn Guys was saying that from all the way from Vaughn Taylor to Brooks Koepka to Anthony Kim, Matthew Wolf. So yeah, none of those guys are going to be selected, obviously. But Truck Golfer says great picks, Butts. And then he also mentioned that Mav is ready.
Thinks Mav's ready.
I think Mav's ready too.
He's a tough. I mean, yeah. There's a few there that are they're apples. You know what I mean? Like they're hard to. You can swap any of them out.
Yeah,
it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Comes down to really for me, like who do I like their face more? To be honest with you, some people just don't like their face. You know,
don't like his face.
I don't like his face. Like, and I don't hate it. It's just that guy. I'd rather be his friend.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Oh man! All right, so that's our team. That's our U.S. team. Should we do the Europe team?
If you want.
I don't know if I really want to do the Europe team. I feel like the Europe team is like so predictable. The one that they're saying could be controversial.
Colin Montgomery.
Not Colin Montgomery. Close. Shane Lowry or Rasmus Højgaard.
I mean, Shane Lowry is basically the second coming of Colin Montgomery, right?
That's why I said it was close.
Same build, almost the same golf swing. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't care about the Euros at all. Do you?
No, USA. Last question here for us as we kind of wrap this episode up is, what's the worst pro event that you've been to?
I went to a cage wrestling match when I was like 11. And this guy got a mirror shattered over his back, got hurt pretty bad. That's probably...
I meant golf tournament.
I don't know. I don't think I've been outside of getting kicked out by David Duval, and we all heard that story.
Yeah.
That was the worst, but it wasn't the tournament's fault, you know? It was the waste management, and it was awesome. So I don't think I've been to a bad one, really.
So I haven't really either. Like, I would say 2 years ago, waste management was probably the worst when it was muddy and raining and everything. And sure enough, that was probably the worst. However, I've talked with several people about this, because as soon as I heard it the first time, I was like, how in the heck is this accurate? And then I started asking people, I'm like, have you ever been to the Ryder Cup? Every single person that I know that has been to the Ryder Cup says it's been the worst golf experience.
Really?
Hearing that, would you want to go to the Ryder Cup? Like, is that on your bucket list?
Mm-hmm. I want to go there, and I want to bring... I'll have a Freedom funnel. I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
It's a big plastic eagle that you can chug a beer out of.
Ooh.
And I want to bring it with me and do that there and then leave. And that's really the only reason I want to go to it. But I want to say that I did that. So for that reason alone, I would love to go.
I would love to go and have zero expectations. Like, I feel like everybody that I've talked to, like, they compared it to the Masters, they compared it to like other majors or other like big PGA Tour events. And they said it was the worst experience because there's so many people and you're like 8 rows deep trying to watch somebody. And they said it really, like, by far, they would never go to another one again. And I talked with people that have been to multiple, that have been like to 3 or 4 Ryder Cups, and they're just like, would never, ever go again because every single time it's the same experience. Yes, you get the camaraderie, you're yelling for your country. Like, that's about the only thing. But to actually watch golf, it's the worst.
God, imagine if they had one in like India.
No, I can't.
God, I'm not even going to elaborate on that, but
I know where you're going with it. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know where you're going with it.
No, you're right.
But that caught me by surprise. Is that surprising to you?
What is that?
The Ryder Cup,
not the Ryder Cup. People hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, watch it on TV. It looks like everybody's having a pretty good time. I mean, who is saying that they had a bad time? Is this like something that you've read that's pretty unanimous? Is this
no? Like, well, I've talked to probably 8 people that have all been to the Ryder Cup over the past couple of months that I've talked to, and I'm like,
and they hated it.
Every single one of them. Like, there wasn't a single person that was like, "Oh, Ryder Cup, that was such a sick experience. Absolutely loved it." That was the worst viewing experience that I've ever had at a golf tournament. And again, it's because you're so many people deep. It almost kind of reminded me hearing them talk about it as to back in the day. Exactly. And people used to always say it was very tough watching Tiger because the galleries got so big.
Well, I think you got to strategize at that point. Like, you got to just accept the fact that you're not going to see the entire round and you need to post up, camp out on an exciting hole, probably one where most matches are still ongoing, but are also in a decisive state, like 13, 14, somewhere in there maybe, and put up a chair, sit close to a bathroom, lock in near the rope line and camp out for the day. And I'm sure you wouldn't have that bad of a time. You sit there with a bunch of, you know what I mean? Like, you probably just have to get a spot.
I think the stands are probably your best bet, but you're only able to. So I would love to just be on the first tee box in the stands and just watch everybody tee off. And then I think I'd be done for the day. Be like, all right, time to go home, time to go watch it on TV.
Could be, yeah. I mean, yeah, because if you try to go over to 18, it's probably, people are waiting there all day, I'm sure.
Yeah. So you got to kind of pick your spot. But I get it. Like, that would be a tough viewing experience. Like, outside of being at the first tee box all day long, seeing everybody tee off, and that's it. And then, you really don't have
to tell those folks that they need to quit complaining. You know why?
Why?
Because being a patriot isn't always comfortable. Okay? That's an eagle. It's not supposed to be comfortable all the time to be a proud American, and bitching about it is just a little obtuse.
I do love that right now in this day and age, we're starting to get back to where you can be proud of being American. And it really, like, I listened to the Dodge Ram commercial with Dana White talking about being American. Just,
It's fired up.
Just back. You know what I mean? We're just back.
Go hang out in some other places for a little bit, These folks that don't like it don't have a problem. It ain't so good. Maybe for a week. Beyond that, fucking shithole. We got it pretty nice over here.
Say that quote one more time for everybody.
Which one? I said a lot of quotes right there.
No, just the main one. It's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable.
Oh, being a patriot isn't always comfortable.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes it's uncomfortable to be an American, and the Ryder Cup is not about comfort. It's about stomping the Euro trash into the fucking ground. And that's why we're there.
You think we're going to do it at Bethpage?
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I wish they would almost do like a Normandy thing where the players all come out of like one of those boats with the fucking like Saving Private Ryan, maybe at like the golf course lake, and that's how they show up to the golf course, is in those little Huey boats or whatever they're called, and that's how they arrive.
Are those called Huey boats?
Not Huey. They're fucking. I can't believe I'm like a history buff too, and I can't remember the Higgins boats. Maybe.
Okay, I have no idea, so I can't fact check you there.
But God, how awesome would that be? You know, whew.
Would be sweet.
Be fucking sweet. They show up in the pond on 18 at Bethpage and just roll into the range.
There's no pond on 18 though.
Well, if there was, you know, they could make one. Good. They could make one. So, anyways, yeah, we're past that. Let's move on.
U.S. wins Ryder Cup 2025 at Bethpage. Then Tiger Woods is the captain of the U.S. team. Overseas, and the U.S. brings the cup back. Future prediction.
Yes.
Future prediction. Tiger got a new role, by the way.
What's he doing?
He's the head of the competition committee or something like that now.
So he's basically like just big dog out there with a different title and an earpiece and
another opportunity to continue making money from being in golf with the PGA Tour.
He should be. He should be in everything. You know, those guys owe him $1 billion. Like, it's crazy.
One thing that was said today, and I won't say any names around it, but was talking about Tiger's tweet to Tommy Fleetwood and how some people view that as, you know, don't really care like what Tiger has to say when it comes to those types of things, because you look at the type of person that Tiger is with while he was playing golf.
What types of things?
Perkins restaurants and
all different types of things was he referring to Tiger weighing in on?
Just the fact that like whatever he says, like this one person just can't get over how I don't know how to phrase it so politically correct without just calling it how it is. But
well, it is the Pull Hook Golf podcast, Matt.
Based off of Tiger's past transgressions, there is somebody who, you know, doesn't think that Tiger should be saying stuff like that.
What did he say?
No, he congratulated Tommy Fleetwood and told him that, you know, hard work really does pay off.
Yeah. Well, whoever those people are can't compartmentalize an athlete from a role model, and they're two very different things.
Fair play.
Yeah.
What was that quote one more time?
Those people can't differentiate between.
Not that one.
Oh, dude, you can't. What do you? You said
the American one. The American one. Oh, the one that I keep asking you to repeat.
It is not always comfortable to be an American, and being a patriot is not always something that's comfortable. You're there for your country. You're not there for comfort. You know, there's probably blind people that go to that tournament because they're American, and that's all they give a shit about. They can hear the United States winning. They're not bitching about being 20 rows back. That's good enough for them. Okay? And they spent all that fucking disability money on a fucking Ryder Cup ticket to go out there and stand a mile away, and they think they're by the course. Their buddy Price stole their ticket to get in, and they just stood him there. You can hear the roars, and he's still there. So
I love how this episode just weaved its way to the very end, because we are at the end now. We are at the end. Great episode, Butsy.
That's what you should you post this on Instagram. That should be the caption. If you were blind, would you still attend the Ryder Cup and root for the U.S.? And if you say no, get the fuck out of here.
It might be better if you were blind at the Ryder Cups that you can't see anyways.
Yeah.
There's a thought for everybody.
God, imagine fucking blind golf tournaments.
Just got to point them in the right direction.
Not really. It's because they have heightened other senses, is what they say. So you just. Do you
think that they could hear a flagstick whipping in the wind?
I don't think they have to leave the parking lot. I think they can hear the ball come off the putter face.
Oh, yeah, as a spectator for sure.
Just
all of a sudden, my head started going to watching them play golf. All right. that's
We're
where
gonna
we're
end
going
it
to
with
wrap
that?
it up, folks. We're going to end with that. And we do want to thank our sponsors, Devereaux Golf. Utilize the promo code, folks, PullHookGolf20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order over at DevereauxGolf.com. And then over at Rockform, once again, the G Rock is right over here by Rockform. Utilize the promo code PullHook2025 at Rockform.com for 20% off your entire order over there. And without further ado, folks, this is another one in the books.
Real quick, just want to add this just in case any of this comes back. This is all strictly for entertainment purposes. This is an adult audience. This is for a mature audience. This is strictly for entertainment purpose. None of the views represented herein are actual views there for entertainment purposes only.
We're going to put that at the very beginning of the episode. Thank you, everybody. Peace out. A-Town. Down.